Good morning to Jim's 5am Club, and welcome to my most beautiful city of Sydney. It's early morning, it's Monday morning. I'm down here at Circular Quay, and we're about to see a beautiful sunrise. There's a bit of cloud on the horizon, so it's going to take away from the early phases of the sunrise, but once the sun gets above that cloud, it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around the Park Hyatt Sydney and just go to the little point over there and see what we can experience from this morning's orange sky. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. I'm committed to getting to my 1,000 vlogs by my 61st birthday, and I've got 150 to go, and I've got just over a month to get there. So I need to do 4 or more a day. So this is my second vlog for Monday, but I've prepared a number. And there are others which I'll just do off the cuff, where I talk about things which are near and dear to my heart. So God willing, I will get there. It just means that I just need to stay committed, stay focused, and continue along my merry path. Anyway, today I've got a book summary to take you through, and it's called Leadershift, not leadership, but Leadershift, and it's by a pretty awesome author by the name of John Maxwell. And John Maxwell kicks off his book with an interesting quote where he says that dentists encourage us to use dental floss daily to promote the health of our teeth. We also need, as leaders, to use mental floss to get rid of old thinking and promote the health of our leadership. What a way of looking at life. So in order to become and to be and to remain a great leader, the author here reminds us that we need to continually be on the lookout to remove unproductive habits and thoughts from our thinking process, and to constantly be looking at changing, modifying, and developing our thinking and our behaviours in order to become more productive and be able to serve the outcomes that we're trying to achieve. Because the reality is that we live in an ever-changing world, the world is evolving, it's changing, it's ebbing and flowing, and we need to be looking in this changing world at what things we need to change in order to stay relevant, stay connected. They're two of the main points that I always give at the end of my 5am clubs, and to stay reasonable. Because if you're not careful, you can become disconnected very, very quickly. You can become irrelevant and also unreasonable, which will cause you grief, and basically it will disconnect you, and it will disempower you is the key word that I'm looking for. So we need to address our outdated thinking, our outdated behaviours, and cultural norms. We need to fine tune. We need to adjust, just to make sure that those thinking patterns that we have are still serving us in a ever-changing world, without, of course, letting go of our values, letting go of who we are, and becoming weaker The objective is for us to become stronger, more relevant, and more capable. So the author then moves on to talk about leadership, and one of the points that he makes is that bad leaders try to climb the ladder. They're too busy looking after themselves, just trying to climb the ladder. And we've all worked for those sorts of leaders who are selfish and basically are taskmasters, but their only interest in you is what they can get from you. So bad leaders, remember this, bad leaders are the ones who climb the ladder, whereas exceptional leaders are the ones who build ladders for others to ascend by mentoring them and by helping them. Because at the end of the day, the reason why we have the gift of leadership, the reason why God gives us what he gives us in terms of our talents, the opportunities, the skills, and the successes, is for us to use these things to help others and not to just hoard them and use them for our own selfish needs. Because at the end of the day, how many prestige cars can we have? How many waterfront prized postcodes can we enjoy? How many partners can we have in our lives before it becomes just one selfish act of chasing just for the sake of chasing? So the reason why we get ahead, according to this author, is to help others. Okay, so that's a very, very powerful and a profound point for those who have ears to listen. So strive to be, according to this author, strive to be in the top 10% of your field, and desire more for your people than they expect of themselves. And look for people who are hungry. Look for people who are hungry to grow, who are hungry to develop. That's something which is really, really important as well. So it's important to look for people and to mentor people who are going to A, appreciate it, and B, be able to actualize it. Because not everybody has the capability to make the most of mentoring. So look for people who are, as I said before, hungry to grow, hungry to succeed, people who love partnering in terms of growth and development, and people who are good at figuring it out, who are self-driven, so you don't have to sit there and just push them all the time. And that's a big value call. So, and when you mentor, it's important or useful to give small, regular nuggets of wisdom, and not to spend too much time trying to over-deliver and over-give, because you will tire them out, you will burn them out. So small nuggets of wisdom on a regular basis. The next point to come from the author is that you need to you'll make more of an impact if you connect with people rather than being a person who directs them and tells them what to do. This is the biggest problem that parents have. They spend far too much time nagging their children, telling their children what to do, and not enough time connecting with them and being their partners, joining them in partnership for their growth and development. I'll start heading back to work. I'm not going to make this sunrise. It's going to come up a little bit later than what I thought it was going to come up. So the sort of questions we need to be asking of ourselves and of the people that we mentor, at the end of the day, we're captain coach of our own lives, but we can also be the captain and coach of other people around us, our children, our grandchildren, our cousins, nephews, nieces, our partners, and we all take turns at coaching each other, I guess, through life is another important point to understand. But the 3 questions we need to ask, and these 3 questions are extremely empowering and will bring out the best in the people around us, is we need to ask what went well, what didn't go well, and what do we need to change? What lessons did we learn? And once we've asked these questions, then we need to connect. And the only way you can connect with people, this is a powerful point, and it's the subject of a vlog that I just did before this vlog here as well. But this author also rams it home and reinforces it, that if you want to connect, the only way you can connect with others is through listening. You need to listen first, and not to be quick to advise, not be quick to go into fix mode, but to listen, and zip it, because through listening, you're allowing other people to think aloud, to process their big emotions, and by processing those big emotions without being interrupted, without being distracted, will help them come up with their own answers. And when people come up with their own answers, it's usually the best answer for them, and it's usually the opportunity, the aha moment for them, to enable them to grow, develop, and to build a bridge, build a stepping stone to allow them to then go on to sort out other areas of their lives. So practice asking the right questions and use active listening is the key suggestion from this author. And what the author does is he has a notepad that he carries in his pocket, and on each page of the notepad he has a big L that is written on each page, and that big L means listen. Leaders listen. They don't blab on, they don't talk. They listen, they understand, and once they understand, then they guide and they shape the questioning to enable, through the Socratic method of questioning, for the person to come up with their own revelation, because it's those self-revelations which are the important ones in our lives. They're the ones that stick with us, and they're the ones that we're committed to. And the last formal point to come out of this book, before I finish up, is that the author tells us here that your title, is meaningless compared to the power that you can get through people who trust you. As a leader, if you're not trusted, then you're not going to get very many significant results, because people aren't going to go above and beyond to get things done for you and for themselves. So we need to build trust and integrity. Personal integrity as a leader speaks volume, and it speaks louder than your title. So the key message for everybody, because we're all leaders, we're all expressing personal leadership in different ways, and we're all influencing people around us, be it our children, grandchildren, partners, work peers, you name it. We're always, every single day, everything we do is being watched and being analysed. So the first thing we need to do, the most important thing we need to do, is to express the personal integrity and be trustworthy and dependable. We need to continue and always follow through. As my friend John Nematala used to say, the important thing for each and every one of us is to close the loop. If you have a conversation with somebody, it's important to end that conversation, to follow up and to close it. If they've asked you a question, if they've asked you something to do, or you've had a conversation, then it's always nice to follow up with an email, an SMS, a phone call, just to complete that conversation, transaction. And it's really, really powerful, a really, really powerful thing for each and every one of us. So the last point, and I'll finish up here now, is that the author says that leadership requires you to conquer your fears first. So leaders need to conquer their fears, and through conquering their fears and expressing vulnerability and listening, it gives other people, it welcomes other people to also follow your lead and to do things that are going to help them grow, develop and express themselves. And it frees them from their fears, because we are all helping each other grow, develop and become better versions of ourselves. So it's key to be able to help others conquer their fears, and to at least consider the leadership that you're providing. So let's finish up with a positive affirmation on this wonderful Monday morning. I'm alive, I am well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's become the best versions, the best leaders we can become in our lives. And in order to become the best leader, we need to continually shape our thinking, shape our behaviours, to make us relevant and reasonable and connected to the ever-changing world that we're part of, but not giving up on our values, but continuing to live our values, but through a different expression, I guess is the best way of putting it, a relevant, a contemporary expression. So something that we can relate to and something that others can relate to. So thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to coming to you again later on this morning from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, where we can become each other's partners in development, where we can be the wind beneath our wings, the wave beneath our boards, and help each other get through the morning, get through the day, get through our lives, where we can continually live, learn and pass it on and grow through beautiful shared experiences. So take care, and I look forward to chatting to you and talking with you again. And it's going to be a magnificent day. It's going to be a magnificent week, and wishing everybody the very, very best on this magical, awesome morning. Yasas, and bye for now.